Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader Reading Books for You. Today I will be reading Chapter 22 from Anchen, The Story of a Butterfly by Surina Nel. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chapter 22. The landscape has changed from the tall white stems and green leaves of the spinach plants to red bulbs with red stems and green leaves. It doesn't look as run down as the torn, bug-eaten spinach plants. A growl caught their attention. Anchen blushed as she held her tummy, which growled again, causing her hands to shake with the heavy vibrations. Scrub and Scram looked at each other. "Looks to me like we need to get you some food," Scrub teased laughingly. "I am sorry," Anchen apologized, a little embarrassed. "Don't be sorry, child. You've been through so much. You must be starving. Scrub and we are used to not living on scraps," Scram stated. "I am. I haven't eaten since yesterday," Anchen confirmed. Scram looked around. He noticed the beetroots close by and guided Anchen to the top of the beetroot plant, to the softer, juicier leaves. Reaching the top, Scrub and Scram used the time to sunbathe, leaving Anchen to still her ravenous hunger. They talked about this and that with exaggerated motions of hands and legs, a burst of laughter reaching Anchen every couple of minutes. A tenderness for these two creatures welled up in Anchen, and for the first time she wonders how they ended up homeless. When she finished eating, she joined the laughing pair. How did you guys end up, like this?" Anchen questioned curiously. "You mean homeless?" Scrub helped out, seeing her discomfort. "Yeah, you seem so nice, so unlike homeless people," Anchen declared. "Sweetie, all homeless people are not always bad or lazy. Some just had bad things happen to them," Scrub explained. "What happened to you?" Anchen inquired. Scrub and Scram looked at each other. Scram sighed. Then he started to speak. "It was last spring. We were a happy family, Scrub, myself, and our beautiful daughter. Life was good," he informed Anchen. "We never had much, but we were happy. One day our daughter did not return from school," Scrub continued when Scram found it hard to speak. "We went looking for her, and after some time we found her," Scram continued, lost in thought. "Where was she?" Anchen urged when Scram fell quiet. "We were too late. Grog. He had already poisoned her. There was nothing we could do," Scram said and dabbed a tear from her eye. "You mean she died?" Anchen replied, shocked. Scrub nodded. "Scram has never been the same after. He could not hold a steady job. Life without our daughter just hurt too much, and we lost everything except each other." "And Grog? What happened to him?" Anchen wanted to know, enthralled. "He is a spider, and that is what spiders do." Everything was swept under the carpet, Scram answered angrily. "We have been staying around his web since, trying to prevent more innocent lives falling victim to him," Scrub informed Anchen. And that is how you found me? Anchen questioned as the realization set in. Scram nodded. There you have it, Scrub confirmed. Scram shook his head, trying to erase the memories from his head, then got up, helped Scrub, and starts to walk off. Come, we need to get you home, he said bluntly. They start to walk off. Higher and higher they went. On the rounding off the leaf, Anchen stopped suddenly. Scrub and Scram stopped to see what Anchen was looking at. Anchen pointed with a chubby little finger to the big mulberry tree, visible from between the big beetroot leaves. What is it, honey? What do you see? Scrub questioned. That big tree. It is where my school is, Anchen informed them. Are you sure? Scrub asked. I am. It is the old mulberry tree. I have been going there since first grade. Anchen confirmed to Scrub. Well then, we know where we are going. Let us get you home then, Scrum said as he started off in that of the old tree. There was a determination in his step. He seemed not only upset, but also annoyed by having to take Anchen back. Is he okay? He seems annoyed with having to take me there, Anchen asked, not wanting to be a bother to the pair. He is all right, sweetie. He is just... Well, we lived in that neighborhood before our daughter was lured away from us, and we lost her, Scrub shared with Anchen. Sometimes the memories get the better of him. She was the apple of his eye. She was just like him. Did you love her? Anchen asked as they followed Scram. Of course we loved her. We still do. I am her mother, Scrub answered. I don't think that mine, Anchen started. Honey, let me tell you something. Your mama loves you more than she loves herself, Scrub interrupted Anchen. But she never has time for me. She always puts the twins first, Anchen argued. Maybe she doesn't think that you need her as much as they do. Or maybe she thinks that you've got it, you know. Have you ever told her how you feel? Scrub explained. No, I just go to my room and talk to my dad. I have a picture of him next to my bed, Anchen replied. Talk to her, honey. She loves you so much. I am convinced that she just thinks so much of you, that she forgets you are still just a little girl who needs her mom, Scrub stated. Anchen looked at Scrub in surprise. Do you really think so? I know so, Scrub said as she nodded her head. I know it is hard, but just try talking to her. You are so much stronger than you think you are. They walk in silence for a bit, trying to catch up to Scram that has put quite a distance between himself and them. The sound of wings above them caught their attention. They looked up to see a dragonfly hover above them, like a helicopter in search of something. It followed them for a while, causing the two cockroaches to feel rather uncomfortable. Come on, guys, we need to get out the open. We too exposed. It is not safe. Scram rushed them. Scrub and Anchen walked faster. Anchen stumbles and nearly falls as she looked up to the hovering dragonfly. Scram grabbed her by the arm and pulled her to a spot safely, under cover of a leaf. In anticipation they wait. Scram visibly relaxed when they hear the dragonfly fly off into another direction. As the sound of the dragonfly wings dies off, Scram jumps back in action. Come, we are running out of time. We need to get you home soon. Anchen and Scrub nodded and followed Scram. He was walking fast, and Anchen struggled to keep up. Scrub had to put in some effort too to keep up with Scram. They came to the end of the beetroot garden. Scram looked carefully to ensure the open ground they have to cover is safe. Seems good, let's go, he said, and rushed out into the open. They veered into the open, uneven terrain in front of them. The progress was slow over the unearthed piece of ground separating the two patches of the garden. Above them, the sound of the hovering dragonfly returned. Come, come, we need to move. Scram chased them on. The sound of the dragonfly is coming closer. Anchen is running to keep up with Scram and Scrub, who naturally moved faster than her, with her stubby legs. As they cross the garden bed wall, they stop in their tracks. 5 dung beetles emerges from the tomatoes in front of them. They looked threatening as they came closer slowly. The trio turned around to make it back to the beetroots, which they just emerged from, but stopped in shock as another group of dung beetles approaches them from the back. They heard the sound of another dragonfly hovering above them. The sound was deafening. They turned to the left to get away from the threatening dung beetles when a voice came from the air. You are surrounded. You have now where to go. The voice coming from the dragonfly informed. Scram looked around him. He seemed terrified. Put your hands on your head and move away from the girl, the voice ordered. No, no, you don't understand, Scram shouted as he waved his arms above his head. Put your hands behind your head and get down on the ground, the voice ordered. Scram looked helpless at Anchen and lifted his hands to the back of his head and slowly joined Scrub, who was doing the same. Anchen had tears streaming unwillingly across her face. She also had her hands in the air. As soon as Scram and Scrub were down of the ground, the threatening beetles moved in fast and cuffed the scared yet tired-looking Scrub. Scram was still putting up a fight, trying to tell the beetles that he was helping Anchen, but he was forcefully brought to the ground and cuffed too. Anchen reached out to Scram, who was still fighting against the cuffs, and the two beetles. I am telling you, I was, Scrub tried to tell the officer. Sir, everything you say can and will be used against you. That is when Anchen saw the fight leave Scram and surrender to the beetles. Sir, he was really only trying to, Anchen tried to tell the beetle, but was interrupted by a second beetle. It is all right, girl. We got you. No need to be scared any more, the beetle said, trying to comfort her. But sir, they were, Anchen, tired again, but was interrupted again. Is it her? A third beetle said. Are you Anchen? He asked, sympathetically. Anchen nodded and then turned to look at Scrub and Scram being led away by two beetles. What will happen to them? They did not do anything. They were helping me, Anchen asked. Let us get you home. There is a lot of people that are very worried about you, the second dung beetle said, and led her away. Firmly leading Anchen away, she had no choice but to follow the police officer. She glanced one last time over her shoulder to see Scram and Scrub being led away, both with heads hung in shame. Anchen walked a little further before she stopped and shook the hand of the police officer from her chubby arm. With a determined expression on her face, she looked at the officer. I'm not taking one more step until I know what is going to happen to Scrub and Scram. They did nothing but try to get me home. They never laid a hand on me, Anchen said firmly. I understand that, but your parents are sick with worry about your well-being. We need to get you home, the beetle said, trying to grab her arm again. No, not until I know what will happen to them, she said, not settling. Fine, he said. They will probably be locked up for the night. We will check to see if your stories match, and if they do, they will be released. Satisfied, Anchen nodded and started walking with the officer. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 23. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book.